Uh, I've been playing this game for the past like half a year now, and I decided to do this incentive because no one's really done it before, and I thought it'd be fun.
For commentators, I'm going to be helping Hal with his run and explaining what's going on. I'm basically Hal's coach for this game, and I've been playing this game for like several years now.
And I'm also here to help with commentary. You can call me Soul. I've run this game off and on. Probably my biggest claim to fame at this point is probably all role games. I was not taught this by Tortoise, but by a runner who isn't part of the community anymore, but was a big help back in the day.
All right, I think we're set to start. This timer is gonna start. I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
And we're off. So immediately we're going to see that we're going to be using jumping here. It's a bit faster than running on the ground. So we're going to maximize our time up in the air. Upcoming is our first skip.
Ooh,
Nice.
Nice.
Pretty tight timing there, but if you like track your jumps, you can make it just fine.
And that is probably one of the harder misses to learn in, honestly, any run of the series. Wheel is a very important ability. As you can see, we go really fast and we can jump, and Wheel is great. I don't really have much else to say about it. Just Wheel is a very good ability. You're going to be seeing it a lot throughout this run.
Yeah, like compared to other abilities, it utterly dominates. Though you will see a few other abilities in this run, but for the most part, it will be Wheel. Although, unfortunately, it doesn't really give you much vertical mobility, but that doesn't really come up in most rooms.
Who's that? Oh.
I'm sure it's nothing.
So basically the goal here, we're gonna be going between 9 worlds, defeating 8 different bosses in order to unlock the final world for the last boss. That's a very tight trick that we pulled off there to very quickly deal with Frosty. And also we're going to be hitting this checkpoint here. Hitting these switches allow you to access different worlds and come back to them. We won't usually hit that switch in any percent, but since we do have this incentive for collecting all the sprees, we will need to come back to Moonlight Mansion eventually. So do keep your eyes peeled for that.
So is this your first time watching an any percent all sprays run?
For any percent all spray specifically, yes. For any percent, no, because I know any percent. So I'm curious to see how this is going to actually differ once we start actually, get into sprays in question.
So we're gonna actually pick up stone in order to deal with the boss.
Oh my lord.
Oh, unfortunately, this is the one enemy that changes what ability you pick up depending on what action he performs. So we do have to back it up by grabbing an actual stone attack. Otherwise, we would have gotten Fighter there if we swallowed.
Yeah, the golems can give you one of 3 abilities. Either they can give you Wheel if they're rolling, Fighter if they're trying to punch you, or Stone otherwise. Also, we're just trying to kind of gloss over that. That's Team Golem. It's just Wispy Woods, except they're rock now.
He still makes very quick work of Golem here. We have very convenient wheel placement here, so we can just carry on as normal. Here we're gonna be kind of ping-ponging between different checkpoints, picking up a whole bunch of switches.
Yeah, I'd imagine for this run, you're probably going to want even more of them just so you're able to get to the sprays when you need to.
Nice. And
Also a little bit of a
we
different
get
route than I'm used
Sea
to.
Air for Splitters. We will come back to this
Fish.
section a little later for Gobbler. And water sections are really scary in this game because one hit and you lose your ability forever. So you do have to swim very carefully in these sections. That is a switch that will eventually lead us to the Gobbler boss, but that will come up later.
If my memory serves, this is actually the first spray we're going to be grabbing in this run.
This room?
Not this
Actually,
room, but this route, but I might be mistaken.
yeah, we're just gonna grab this switch so that we can get a
I am
spray real
safe.
quick later.
Pretty scary room coming up.
Yeah, for the next room, the spikes are actually hidden inside the blocks, and you need to do really precise turns in order to not get hit.
There we
Very
go.
nice. No hits. You immediately drop your ability when you get hit in this game, unlike some other Kirby games where it's not guaranteed that you lose your ability, but here it's actually pretty punishing.
That's the one
There we go.
downside
We've
of the.
just
this
entered
game.
our next boss region, Cabbage Cavern. We will be going on to defeat a mysterious boss. I'm not quite sure who he is.
No one knows.
Yeah, every time I've done the boss, the game just gives me like question marks, and I'm heck if I know what that means.
No one knows who he is.
I do want to highlight that one of the more subtle features of this run is that as Wheel, every time you hit an enemy, the screen does like stop for a few frames each time you hit it. So you want to decrease the number of times you actually run over enemies, and instead you kind of want to dodge them when possible. That becomes more relevant the more experienced you are with the run.
Over time, it slowly but surely adds up a lot of time, which with quicker times, we try to optimize hitting enemies just to the lowest possible amount.
Now we got a surprise reference to the Smash Bros. Series. Since HAL developed both Smash Bros. And Kirby, we get this kind of highlight here.
I did.
Masterhand, do you mean everyone is here? No, I'm not going to make that joke.
This is one of the longest vertical rooms in the game. Here we can actually do a little trick where if we puff that enemy, we avoid an extra explosion. If you go fast enough, you can actually avoid both explosions, but it's pretty tight.
Oh,
I actually jumped through that snooter cannon, but we didn't get it with that jump.
actually, they're called Shatsos. Pay attention to the wiki.
Oh, sorry. Here we'll be
You know,
grabbing
first leader.
Sword.
Yep.
Let's have an epic duel off with
Who could this be?
mysterious boss.
I have no
This
clue.
boss is
I
actually
mean, he
pretty
looks like
annoying.
Meta Knight.
No,
To
no,
do
this is.
slides to guide his like a coax.
I'm not doing-
attacks
oh, there we
in
go.
the air. He blocks a lot, so I think that fight was kind of unlucky. Al did get blocked a few times, but we managed to get through it. So,
Oh, there is an audio delay.
yeah,
Oh.
there we go. Usually you soft reset after every boss. Since we don't have wheel, we don't need to keep our ability, and soft resetting skips cutscene and saves a bit of time each time. Now here, we're actually going to collect our first spray. Overall in this game, there are 14 sprays, and they're all hidden within these chests that you have to go around the world and pick up. That was close.
I don't know how I didn't... I don't even know how to recover from that if that happens.
You would have to reset the room, yeah. If you went through that one-way platform, if you went through that one-way platform, you wouldn't be able to go back and hit the switch.
But now
Yeah,
that we
that
have a
chest we just
spray,
got
we can kind of rush our way over to the next boss, and... Well, the best way to explain this is, how familiar are you with Whack-A-Mole?
As a Kirby speedrun, I can tell you I'm very familiar with Whack-A-Mole.
So am I. Because look,
Oh.
it's Moley. He's
Unfortunately, we have top patterns here. We can't really whack-a-mole really well when he's on the ceiling like that, but yeah, just to back it up, kind of. There we go. Mole's a very RNG heavy boss in this game, so usually runners do him very early.
And now we have a split dedicated to sprays. For the next two, I guess.
Yeah, so for most of the sprays, we could just kind of detour a bit from the usual 90% route. But sometimes we have to go out our way to fetch certain sprays. There we have another top runner mix in order to pick up wheel.
Thank you, Kane, for the holy mix. Oh.
You can actually squeeze through this little hole, but helps to turn around there because your hitbox actually is smaller on your front than the back. It's kind of hard to squeeze through that gap.
Oh, nice.
Trying to jump through the gorges here because, as we mentioned, hit lag is very much relevant in this game. Especially Gordos. Gordos cause a lot of hit lag. Nah, we did lose a wheel here, unfortunately, but we do have a backup here, unfortunately.
Yeah, so losing the wheel there isn't really a big deal. If something does happen, you can just do that at the top of the room. I know in certain runs, and I'm sure it's going to be applied for this one. That is also one of our areas that we get wheeled back if we really needed it for some reason, or if we're in between light sections.
Yeah, we will be seeing that wheel later once we get to the ice sections of the run. Here, though, we are going to do a considerable detour to pick up some sprays here. Right now, we are going to pick up the green spray, and then right after that, we are going to move on to a completely different spray. Here there's a very finicky bomb block that you want to safely break without breaking this other bomb block that will block you from the chest. If you miss that, if you accidentally hit that second bomb block, then you get completely blocked from the chest. You have to redo the entire room. It's very costly.
Do I have time to jump in with a quick donation?
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, we have a £25 donation from Anonymous, and thank you very much for that. No comment, but thank you very much. And that has gone towards the Catch a Fish bid war for Kirby and the Forgotten Land, towards catching a fish. So if you would prefer us to not catch a fish and save the frames, you're going to need to get donating for that. At the moment, we will be catching a fish in that speedrun. And we also do still have that that target, that incentive for Puppy Gunvolt for Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 tomorrow as well. So please get donating, and remember, if you're in the UK and you're a UK taxpayer, make sure to tick gift aid at the end and your donation will be boosted.
And while you're at it, potentially give us your favorite color. There's a lot of colors in this game.
Yeah, my favorite's cherry.
Ironically, we are right now picking up cherry. Okay, so I do want to
This room,
quickly
man.
highlight the fact that we're using missile here. I did say earlier that wheels are the most dominant ability, but the second most dominant is missile. Very fast, but very, very hard to use ability. Very sketchy sword knight, but we managed to get through. So missile's biggest strength is vertical mobility, and it can also break metal blocks, which is why we're actually keeping missile here for this next spray. The thing with missile...
We were already here. Why are we back?
We are actually near the beginning of the game, but the thing with missile is the movement is hard because the drift is really strong. You have to press a lot of buttons and work hard to mitigate that drift
Okay.
for every single turn.
Yeah, I kind of liken Missile's movement to kind of like rolling a marble.
Wow. Oh, that was a
Just
missile.
walk off.
It's okay. Kirby was just tired.
He needs a break.
Here we're trying to mix for wheel. Since we won't be using missile anymore, we want our fast ability back.
There we go.
There we go. Now we're on to the Titan. Although, along the way, we are going to pick up the yellow spray.
Kirby is real. 2025.
There's very real.
Speaking of Kirby, for this game, you usually don't call like your helper Kirby's at all. They're very, very useless. But in this one instance, we are actually going to be calling our friends in order to hit a certain bomb block. There. Now we just wait for them to slide.
Great
There we go.
RNG.
Yeah, usually they take 2 slides to hit that block, but Kirby.
Kirby
here,
came in
that's a
clutch.
Yeah, all he did in 1 slide. That's some nice RNG.
Also very lucky in invincibility right now. Unfortunately, it wears off just before getting through this room.
I
But
don't know why it does. But
not a big deal for this room.
actually, I might know why. Could be because Fan is a mini boss there, and it gets rid of candy before you enter a boss room.
Oh,
Although that wouldn't make sense for Mustard, but
They were actually gonna do the boss with wheel, which is kind of
Wow.
rare in this game since you usually use other abilities, but works out well for this boss.
yeah. Meta Titan is mostly invincible to almost every attack. The only exception is anything electrical. So the walls, if you send it into a wall, Spark and Beam also just outright damage it.
all right, we're on the fish split.
We're
And
actually
this time we
going
do
to
let
watch
the
the
dance
cutscene
play
here.
out.
Yay! Oh, well, that's the only time we're seeing that.
Yep, since we do need wheel here. Now comes the water level section.
Everyone's favorite.
It is quite long and quite difficult.
Feel
We're going to be seeing a lot of fish here.
feel free to take the occasional bet on how many attempts it might take for UFO mix, if that's still a thing in this run.
Oh, we are going to be doing UFO mix.
Drop your guesses in the chat below.
I'm gonna say second try.
I believe in how it's going to be first. But first we do need to get through this
One, but
boss.
it's fire. Fire is also acceptable.
Yeah, so coming up, there's going to be a very tight mix setup where we need to pop a full into another full way. In order to mix for one of two abilities, either UFO or fire.
Aw.
There we go. Very nice.
Then we have cannon crouch. Never mind, I missed the jump.
You can get past that cannon if you duck under it, but it is very tight.
Any sword skip enjoyers out there?
I used to be, and then I learned the ways of the UFO.
This is one of the few switches we're going to be skipping here, since there's not really a spray in this section. Now there are actually one of two ways we can go here, but we're going to go here. That's the usual route.
Yeah, you know how it is. We want sprays, but unfortunately, the IKEA is sold out of them. They only have the shards.
Yeah. Should I go for snooter skip?
No.
I got this. Okay, never mind, I'm sorry.
So if you
Snooter
inhale,
has
like,
decided to not send you in the right direction.
if you time an inhale there, he can, like, swallow you and then die at the same frame, so it actually boosts you forward a bit. Very subtle time save, but it's pretty hard. We did actually pick up stone earlier, so we're going to be using this ability for the boss coming up.
We have to carry it through this very cool room, which I'm going to be going under because there's just a lot of enemies and a lot of ways to lose stone.
As I mentioned, if you get hit underwater, you lose your ability.
And then we have
So
to use
you do have to
sword.
be careful here.
But sword's dumb.
Sword is slow, and we hate sword here. Fortunately, this boss coming up is pretty easy compared to the other ones. It is quite literally like a fish in a barrel here.
Fish!
Now you see him? Oh, no.
There it is. But
You don't.
There it is, fish. And that's it. That's fish. I don't know what to tell you.
Hope you liked them. And now we have to do a detour again for some more sprays.
Oh, here's the, like, the hardest spray to get in this entire run. For the chocolate sprayer, you had to do some very scary platforming between these enemies.
But I'm a gamer.
There's a pit under there, so if you get hit, you lose sword, and you need that uppercut to reach that
We got
chest.
chocolate.
And now we're going to be
Chocolate
keeping the
Kirby,
sword
my
and
beloved.
going for next ability.
On my splits, it's called chalk and chalk.
For some reason, that makes me think of like chocolate tongues now. Which I don't know if I want to think about that ever again.
So usually for this Heave-O block, you need to call your friends to inhale it out of the way, but luckily, green shakes actually make it budge, so just repeat this motion until it is just barely cracked, and we can squeeze through it
Please. There we go.
with a little time jump like that. There we go. And we get Hal's favorite ability.
And now we have the only
Ability spray.
unique routing in this entire category.
Trying a very precise mix setup here.
There we go.
And there we
Really,
go.
ooh, really good first try on that one.
Yeah, so you barely ever see that room in any other category, but here we actually travel through it in order to get wheel here.
We love weird categories that have equally wild mixes or setups. But like for that one, you have that whole thing going on. The category I mentioned at the start of this, all gold games, has like a whole thing using the droppy enemy. Just what droppy does is it'll take Kirby's ability and it becomes the enemy that your ability would have been.
Yeah. Like,
So it's used to actually, basically, quote unquote, lose wheel, get cutter so we can actually cut a rope, and then we take the enemy back so we can get wheel again.
oh, really?
Yeah, I did briefly consider routing that
It's
in.
a really cool trick that's only in that run.
Reminds me of KSS on RO and K. Okay. We saved
Okay,
it.
we're lucky we didn't get fighter there.
No, we got
Yeah, fighter
Battlefire.
would
Colon
be-
3.
Yeah,
Oh, never mind.
Any colon 3s in chat.
Oh, we have.
You know what?
no
You know what? I
colon
got you. I got you.
3. Let's not go for a bad Krakow here. Okay. I got this. There we go.
There you go.
And I still save time.
Usually you want to 3-cycle that boss, but we did encounter a little difficulty.
And now we have
That was
the.
very hard to move around.
Yeah. We have the room we said we would come back to later, which is this
Yep.
one right here.
Gonna meet our best friend, Wheelie.
Very
Grab the
convenient.
roller real quick, and then we're gonna move on to the ice section I mentioned.
This is where we get the most sprays out of any segment in this run.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing a rapid fire of chests real soon.
We're gonna be getting 4.
I also think these are the last checkpoints we'll be collecting. As you can see, the world map here is pretty decorated with them. Pretty 70%. We do hit a few more.
Now we just got off the Donkey Kong run a while ago, but we still got Bonkers. Never mind, he's gone.
We had bumpers.
He was
We
there.
can just sneak past them. The game allows us to just ignore them. It's great.
Wow.
That is our first chest there earlier, by the way, for this rapid fire section. We did get snow in our appropriately ice-themed section.
That was clean.
Here we take a tiny bit of a detour to this mirror. Go through the mirror. If you damage
very-
that enemy
very
without
careful
making it
on the
hide, you
heavy
can enter
Oh
the door
my-
and get to this chest quicker.
Got
And
purple.
there we go. Our second chest,
Or
we got
grape.
grape.
Got rape, and here's Mr. Frosty again.
Mr. Flosty.
but-
in this
Frosty.
game. Flosty.
Frosty Gang, where you at?
Yeah, so in the US version, there's a typo where they replace the R with the L, and this is the only game it pops up in. As a Catamrunner,
yeah, so,
as a Catamrunner, I recognize him as Mr. Flosty.
Should I go for the
Much too
cool
fast
grab on
charging.
Carbon? I got red. I think it'd be pretty cool.
you know what? Let's see it.
Alright. I missed that horribly.
One of the other hard sprees to get. There we go. And that's our fourth chest. That concludes our rapid fire section, and now we're off to the rest of this
Melee.
section here. Yeah, we're gonna be fighting melee.
This
like
is
3
the
times.
hardest area in the game for sure, or to like at least like be optimal in.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong if you're not careful. Like one bad misinput or just a little bit of lag throwing you off can completely. Yeah. Case in point, you don't want to fall there. Falling there is very bad.
We would lose wheel, and we'd have to go
Lose
without wheel, with one of the longest sections in the game without wheel.
Which costs a lot of time. A lot of beginner runners struggle with this.
Back in the good old days. Oh, wait. Thank God.
Oh, and that was probably like the...
Right on that edge of the star disappearing there.
That was really close. Now we have this room.
Luckily your inhale hitbox does go a little down, so we did manage to catch it.
And now we have beam room. 3 deaths is why it's called beam room. The first 2 don't count.
Unfortunately, these beams also cost a lot of lag for us, so
Why did I
traversing this room becomes very difficult.
Okay, that was pretty bad, but...
Yeah.
You kept
Fortunately,
wheel,
didn't
that's
get the
important
fast
part.
strat. Fast strat helps, like, get through the room before anything bad happens.
Oh my God, it's Master Hand!
Unlike the other Master Hand fights, he is up in the air, so you do have to do a little awkward jumping in order to reach him.
Oh.
Yeah, also the camera has a moment there, and it spends a surprising amount of time catching up to you afterwards.
It's pretty cool.
It just shows off how fast the wheel in this is in this game.
Oh my God,
There's
this
other games,
movement.
like Amazing Mirror Wheel is unparalleled.
Sweet Sword Wheel says hello.
Right.
But it's
So
about
here
to be
we are
time for
actually
a
going to swap
different missile.
abilities, yeah.
Yo, missile lovers, where you at? Lab, I'm looking at you. Wow.
Here we do actually have a room that is theoretically designed to make this convenient for missile. These diagonal
And I don't have a
platforms that you rarely see everywhere else. But we won't be using missile for the fight. Very bad damage, so we're going to be swapping to fire here. Kind of like the other Master Hand fight, we do jump up to hit them, but we do have to deal with 2 of them.
Oh, wow. Oh, wait, okay.
And in some runs, this is also the one fight where you
There we go.
willingly call the upper Kirby's in, because sometimes the upper Kirby's can do a lot of damage.
At the end there, Hal did manage to get them together, so that sped up the fight a little.
Alright, now we have the most controversial boss in this game.
And I see
We
we're
are
going
moving-
for this match.
Yeah, we are moving without an ability here, but that's because we have a mix here. As you can tell, this game really loves its mixes.
Very nicely done.
In normal NA%, we would typically carry wheel all the way up to the boss, but we have to take a quick detour to grab the color that we already are, which is pink, which we have to trade off the stone because there is a stump.
And then we go back to fight the boss.
Can we get Parage in the chat? We have a very RNG mix coming up.
Yeah, this one,
believe.
runners go for, like top runners, but don't always get. It's just get it if you can. No
go.
way.
See, I believed.
That Sparky hitbox is it depends. It's like a 50-50 chance, but we still got it.
Exactly, and on top of that, that's a very long mix. You have to wait like 20 slots or so. Each one of those are 4 frames, so it's a 4-frame window in the middle of nowhere that needs time.
Oh,
Ooh, almost.
there we go.
Greatest strength of hammer here is
Alright.
that it deals with the boss a lot faster than the other options we have. And just like that, we defeated all the bosses. We're not
Yeah,
quite
if
ready,
you don't have
though.
hammer, you would use parasol instead to do a lot of damage.
Now we have all the shards, but we don't have all the sprays. All right, we're getting near the end of the sprays, so if you guys would like to put what color we should use for Dark Mine, we can do that. You guys can do that.
Here we have our last instance of missile.
Oh, I think
Bye-bye,
I got
missile.
emerald.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
I'm gonna say chalk.
Chalk. We got an emerald. We got a carbon. We will now be going back to the fishland.
Yes, Fishland. Home of the last spray.
We're getting the ocean spray in the ocean. So right here, we would have went in the upper path, but we want to go in this door, which is an obsolete path. That just really doesn't matter too much. And then we got the only instance of mini Kirby.
Yep.
We love Mini.
Mini, in a nutshell, is Kirby, but now he's small.
Smooth. Now we squeeze. Got.
All right,
We can instantly reset after the chest.
let's go.
As we can see, we got all the sprays.
We'll go emerald.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I just realized.
We do actually have to reset this cutscene, so
Yeah, so
let's
unfortunately we have to
get
do
emerald
it.
again. Okay, now we can do the final boss.
We call the Kirby's to get them out of the main room, because if we enter the fight with them in the main
They
room,
go in all on side.
yeah, and they kind of slow things down. They can just be in the way. Pretty clean.
There we go. He sat in the corner.
Dark
Nice and
Mennonite.
easy for us.
Little trick to save some frames. Floating Kirby as
This is like the only glitch you see in this run,
yeah.
even though Kirby naturally levitates.
And now we have this really cool trick.
Yeah, so this is Dark Mine. The trick is you get a double star.
You might be saying, "Oh, he looks so scary." But really, he's not.
Ooh, really
There
good
he
grab.
goes. Now the thing about this final boss is there's
There's 6
way
phases.
too many phases. Yeah. So he gets to do this double star a few times. Do have to wait a bit.
Oh, I didn't jump. That's right though.
Coming up, there is a switch to door that you usually navigate around, but there's a small chance where you can get an ability in order to hit it.
RNG.
So let's see how it goes.
Unfortunate.
I don't think I've ever had a run where I actually got one.
It is very, even when you do get a chance for it, it's very difficult. Obviously at a top level, you're going for that every time if you can, but also the game can just sometimes not give you it.
So yeah, we had to take a detour to pick up sword there.
And then we have the ice phase. The double star won't kill Dark Mine here, which is good, because Dark Mine, he can shoot these like colored stars, and Dark Mine can shoot out a green star, which in this case would be an auto mix, and we mix for UFO. I'm not gonna. I don't feel right.
Unfortunately, DM's not giving us good patterns. You do want this mix for the next phase, though.
Oh my lord. He's
Since we
too
can't
high.
really double start.
There we go.
Very unlucky.
All right.
Okay, now we just pray we get this last mix. Luckily,
First
there we
try.
go.
Oh,
With
let's
the green star,
go.
you have a larger timing window. It's 8 frames instead of 4.
I might call
Little bit
them
of a
at the
silver
start
lining at the end of the run.
because I'm a bit low.
Yeah.
I can
call
one cycle
Kirby's.
it, but if you call them, they just spawn with some health, and that's just a little safer just to not die on this fight.
You really do get these random useful cases with these allies.
Yeah,
Really
now that we have
useful
youth, we can just kind of deal with this boss with.
Very
Honestly,
quickly.
this boss is almost trivial.
And there we go.
There we go.
Ooh,
And
good
we
shot.
are now onto the last phase. Time will be coming up on the last hit of this final phase. Let's Fat Kirby it.
Yeah, so this last phase can also be summed up as you know how most Kirby games have some flavor of like shoot 'em up fight. But this is amazing mirrors.
Time. I'll try my best to call time.
Honestly, this phase is pretty rough.
It can be, for sure.
Yeah, so calling the uppers can be very beneficial, even if everything's going kind of the way you need it to, because sometimes the patterns can be a little bit rough, and sometimes they'll just charge at you a lot, and you'll take a bunch of damage. Luckily,
Just
this way,
moving back
if you
and
die,
forth.
it doesn't. But if you die and
And
another
time.
person, there you go.
GG.
Yeah, good stuff.
Pretty strange run. Definitely some elements that any percent wouldn't normally have. It is kind of fun to combine two of them.
Exactly. It introduces a lot of unique routing.
Yeah, for sure. In like an open world game like this, there's definitely some really cool strats that can happen for mixing categories.
Yeah, I know there's one that's said about wanted me to route out like I think it's like 80% plus all goal games.
Ooh.
So you do like all the bosses and all the goals.
Yeah, that would be something. Well, he's just gonna explode.
Yep, it just explode. That's all.
Ta-da.
At the sixth and final phase, he's dead. And then we have this post cutscene, but that's it for Amazing Mirror. Definitely a pretty fun game. Although if you don't like RNG, I'm sorry to hear. This game is pretty RNG heavy, but I still love it. Definitely one of my favorite Kirby games.
I'm still gonna say play a Kirby game.
At least one. This might not be everyone's favorite, but it's still a pretty fun one.
All right. Any last shout outs before we go to our next intermission?
Shout out to Squished Aston in my webcam slot. Yeah, that's it. Thank you to my comms for calming.
Yeah, of course. Where do people find you?
ALR_how on Twitch. And yeah, that's it. I just feed on Kirby. That's what I do for a living. Even though I don't. Never mind.
I guess I'll go next then. If you want to see anything from me, twitch.tv/BeanQueenSoul. I do a lot of Kirby myself, but I do dabble in other platformers and some Metroid as well. But yeah, I'm still gonna say play a Kirby game.
All right, perfect. Yeah, definitely good recommendation. And coming up, we have more Kirby for you. It's going to be Kirby and the Forgotten Land by Kane, California. So stick around. Will be a few minutes.